Hello, digital production students. This is a crash course on using what are called lapel or lavalier microphones. And basically what that means is they call it a lapel microphone because this little microphone that is hidden inside this cute little windsock, that's what that is, will connect to the lapel of your clothing. So this is the microphone, that's fine. We have 5 sets of transmitter receivers, and you'll see that they are paired. And I put a big old piece of tape and some big old numbers. Transmitter, receiver. You may notice that some of them have 3. 4A, 4B. Well, because these particular ones, when I bought them, you could actually get 2 transmitters that would talk to 1 receiver. So you have basically 5 different setups that you can use. Let's say we use these here. So I've got receiver, transmitter, transmitter. The transmitter goes on your body, and that's where the microphone goes. There's even a little place that says mic. And the receiver goes to either your camera, and I'll show you where that goes on this, or it can even go on your phone if you have the right cable. You're going to notice I have a box of cables and connectors and things, so let's take a look at how this works. First of all, you need the right cable. So for the transmitter, obviously you're going to need at least 1 lapel mic. So you dig around in the box and you find a lapel mic. Pretty straightforward. Transmitter. It goes in the mic in. I recommend you turn it up to about, I don't know, 5, between 5 and 7. I find 9 the sound gets a little distorted. You'll see that it basically lets you know, hey, I'm on, I've got, maximum transmitting signal, battery's good, this is my frequency. And that's for the transmitter. The other one would do the same. What you do is you turn on the receiver, same thing, about 5, and you will get a green light that lets you know, hey, they're talking, so everything's good. For the receiver, all you have to do is find the appropriate cable. Now this is what you have to be careful about because they are labeled slightly differently, although they actually are interchangeable. Something you have to be very mindful of is there are 2 different ends. This end is mono, 1 stripe. This one is stereo, left, right. So your camera and your phone, they try to record in stereo, which means that if you put this end in the wrong, if you were to put the stereo end into the lavalier setup, it wouldn't work right. So we're going to plug this end in to the receiver, and on the camera, which you are pretty used to now, there actually is a place to plug in a mic. It says mic, it's very tiny, and you could actually have your headphones in. So if you wanted, you could have your headphones plugged in here, and you could have your mic, your lapel mic set up here, and you could hear how it's doing. So I'm going to take this one, and it actually says camera line right on here. So then if you plug that into mic, you will immediately know that you are receiving something because check, 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 check. You can actually see on the screen that there's a little volume display indicator that if something was off, so I'll turn this off now, click, I'm turning off my transmitter, I'm not getting anything. Nothing at all here. So if you take that out in the field and you turn that on up to about 5, I'll turn it up to 9 just so you can see what happens if I go that high. If I go to 9, that means everything I do, all of my audio basically is going to be a little exaggerated and perhaps distorted. So I'm going to turn both up to 9, and that means that pretty much most of the time you can experiment, but I've been successful with having both of them turned up to between 5 and 7. So this basically is a simple lavalier mic setup. All you need, of course, is one receiver and one transmitter, so long as they are indeed paired, and I've made that pretty easy. Now, you might not like having this hooked up here. This is why you are able to screw this into this. It's a shoe that you can hook up to most camera setups, and then that stays out of the way. So it stays up here, and then you've got it plugged into your camera, and then you're good. That's one option. The other option is you are able to, there are a handful of these clips. There's a handful of these clips that you can put on the lavalier boxes, right? And now suddenly you can clip this onto your belt. You can clip this onto the camera strap, for example. Let's say that you didn't want to have this setup. Well, now I've got a setup where it's all together. So I know it looks a little bit, wonky, but having really good sound in noisy environments, well worth the effort. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is what you need to know to hook up a lavalier mic system. You can even get it to work with your phone if you want to give it a try.